Hello everyone, my name is Jen and welcome to the book Refuge and welcome to my Mafia Romance Readathon recommendations video. It's also combined with just kind of being a regular Mafia recommendations video because I realized I haven't made one of those in a while, even though I read Mafia pretty regularly. Every single month we've got a few added in there. But all of my hosts have kind of made their videos already, so I'll go ahead and link them down below. If for some reason you don't know what I'm talking about, May 5th through the 8th we will be doing the second round of the Mafia Romance Readathon. We did this for the first time last June and it was freaking amazing, and we're going to be doing it again. This is a readathon that I created with the help of some of my friends, and this time around we have Tori from Novel Life, Tiffany from Tiff Talks Pages, Jess from Peace Love Books, Jessen from Jessen Reads Romance, and Madison from Princess of Paperback, who will be hosts. And like I said, any of them who've already made a recommendations video or announcement video, I will link it down below. We have merch this year if you want to get it. It might be a little too late to get it beforehand now, but there are sweaters and shirts, and there are mugs too, which is cool. Decided to, kind of go for it this time and make some stuff. So there's links to that down below as well. We will have prizes for the Build Your Own Bingo board, and that includes, I just got the giveaway copies of Toxic and Ruthless Stranger from Maggie Cole. Ruthless Stranger is the first in her Mafia War series, so she sent a signed copy of that. Toxic is her newest release and is the first book in the spin-off series, Mafia War New York. So those will go to a winner who gets picked from the bingo board. So the way that will happen is if you go to my Instagram, you can find this template right here. You can also just make this template yourself if you're not going to use Instagram to show it. You can just do like I did and make your 3x3 board here. And then there is a list of prompts that you can also find there, which you can build your own bingo board. So since I am not going to win any of these prizes, I'm the one who set this up, I'm not setting my bingo board in place beforehand. I'm going to kind of do a roulette version of this. That's the garbage truck driving by, don't mind that. And I put all of the Mafia books that I own in my Kindle library. I also have audiobooks for a lot of them, as well as some that have been suggested by you guys in my book rec form that are Mafia books. They are in this jar, and I will be pulling them out and building my bingo board off of those. Now, in case you guys didn't know this, I also I was released from my job a little while ago, a week ago actually from today. And so I have even more time to read now than I was expecting. So I'm going to dive full into this. I'll be doing a vlog. I'll be super active on Instagram. It's going to be awesome. So yeah, the other prizes they're going to be, I should say this, Serena Ackroyd is going to send signed copies of The Dawn and the Lady, which we'll be talking about in this. That is a duet that fits into her Filthy Feckers world, but you can read them as standalones if you want to. Sophie Lark will be sending 3 signed copies of books out. She will have a signed copy of Ivan, Brutal Prince, and The Heir, so it'll be the first books in her 3 Mafia series. Those will each go to a different winner. She's sending those. Then there will be a $10 Amazon gift card, and there will be a giveaway of one of the Mafia mugs. This design was actually my practice design because in the light it shows as really bold, but in person it's kind of faint. So this was my test one. I will get you one of the good ones that I redesigned, but that will also be a prize. So those will be all the prizes for this Build Your Own Bingo board. So in case you don't know what that is, I mean, it really is self-explanatory in how it says it. You can choose which of these, I believe I have 16 or 17 prompts to choose from, and you can make your own 3x3 board with it like this. And what you'll do is you will try to read the books that match these prompts, and you can stack them as much as you want. Some of some of you may find a book that literally hits like 6 prompts for you. So you might only need to read 1 book for the whole weekend and you'll have a bingo, because you can just do a bingo with just 3 down, across. You could do the blackout board if you want to. You can go for whatever you want. There's really not a plan to try to exclude people from winning. That is why I do the build your own board, because you can literally pick it so you only have to do 1 to do this. And then at the end of the readathon, I will have a form that you can fill out. I've done this every time and it works really good. It will be advertised on my Instagram. I will share it on my YouTube community page as well, so make sure you're subscribed to me. The other hosts will be sharing it as well. And in that, you will just put in your name, your Insta handle, or how we can contact you, and then your that's all that we'll need, because then if your name gets drawn, I personally will reach out to you either through email or for Instagram, whichever one you indicated, and get your information. Because if one of the authors needs to send you information, I'll give your information to them. And if I'm going to be, either emailing you a gift card or sending you a book, I'll need that. But you will not have to provide your direct address to me unless you win and I personally reach out to you and it's from the Book Refuge. So there we go. Just to get that out of the way. All the business. We're not even into the recommendations yet. So yeah, let's get into that. So what I'm planning to do for this recommendation video that I'm not going to be going through every single prompt. Like I said, I'll have other hosts down below. They go through, books that they're thinking of reading, which ones they're planning to do. I'm going to go through I think I have 13 books here. Because I haven't done a Mafia recommendation video in a while, I'm going to go through the most recent ones that I've read and tell you which prompts they hit to the best of my ability, as you'll see when we get to some of them. Because some of these prompts on this list are recommended by a host. So any of these books that I recommend, any recommended by another host, you can count as that. Make sure you're following all the hosts. Obviously, you can just make sure you do that. The oldest Mafia in your library. So that's going to mean either one you physically bought and you've had it laying around for ages, or it's in your Audible library, or it's in your Kindle library. That's going to be personal to whoever you are. I can't do that. Same with if it's a new to you author. You have to know if it's a new to you author or not. And if it's a next in a series, you'll know if it's a next in a series. So those are all prompts that I can't really give you a recommendation for, because I'm not you personally. I have in my little tin which ones are, or my jar, which ones are, individual to me. So let's go ahead and go through these. Like I said, to the best of my ability, I'll tell you the prompts. I had to go back through my Goodreads to see where stuff fits, because some of them I don't quite remember. But let's go ahead and dive into what I've read recently. So one book that I just talked about on my previous weekly wrap-up is Mafia Mistress. This is part of the Kings of Italy series, and Mafia Mistress and Mafia Darling are actually a duet that will fit within the series. So there's an HEA for this couple after the second book, but there is more books that will be coming in the series later. Mafia Mistress is about this 18-year-old girl who her family is the mafia, but she thought she was going to get to live a life outside of it. Oops, surprise, she's going to be put in an arranged marriage with the son of the Cosa Nostra. So this one fits for that. Anyway, let me keep talking before I'll list the prompts. Sorry, I get distracted. But it turns out that the man she's engaged to marry, who is another young man of the mafia, her and his father actually have crazy sexual chemistry. And when the man that she's engaged to, they end up having more of a sibling relationship, the father wants to make her his mistress. And the first book in this duet was absolutely crazy. It was messy. It was bonkers. But the second book just really wrapped it all up. But the first book was still enjoyable for me. I had a good time, but I was not prepared for how awesome the second book really was. It did not go where I thought it would. So this one will work for Cosa Nostra, arranged marriage, and captor-captive, because this is kind of a forced marriage for her. She tries to escape multiple times and gets drugged back. So definitely captor-captive in there. Then there's Toxic by Maggie Cole. I do highly recommend that you've read the Mafia Wars series first. Like, I just really do. So this is a hard, like, recommendation to make as, like, at face value. Of course, you can do whatever the F you want. You don't have to have read them if you don't want to. I just think you'll have the best experience if you have, because there are a lot of things that carry over from that series. But this one is a second chance romance between Dante Marino and Bridget, I think she goes by O'Connell in this, but she was an O'Malley. Yeah, Bridget O'Connor. They kind of had a thing for each other when they were in high school, but he was too hot to trot back then and wanted to play the field, and he messed up. And Bridget ended up married into the O'Malley family, and now it's many years later. She's a widow, pretty tragically, again, based on events that happened in that series. And she's a single mother, and now her and Dante are getting a second chance. This one covers the Irish Mafia and the Italian mob, because Dante is Italian and Bridget is Irish. Then there is Corrupt Educator. So this one, I don't have any like specific for you because I can't remember which mafia this one covers, because I think it might cover more than just one, but I don't perfectly remember. But this is a forbidden romance between the principal of this mafia school and a 18-year-old who her parents are forcing her to go to this mafia school because she just doesn't want any part of the mafia, and they are forcing her into it. They think she's weak and that she's a disappointment to them, and so they really don't give two fucks about her, and they force her to go here. And our hero, he has become the principal of this school, the headmaster of this school, through he wants revenge against a lot of the families of the mafia because they have fucked him over at different times. And it just so happens that this teenager who is being forced to go here is the daughter of the family he wants to fuck over the most. And yeah, so this one was very taboo. It was very spicy. There was spanking. There was a little bit of daddy play in here. Like, it was a good time. But this one, I can't remember which mafia it falls into, so when you read it, you will know that. But this one, I was like, this maybe is a new to you author, or this, you know, it's a host recommendation, if nothing else. I don't know. Then there is Hitman by, this is by C. Hallman and Isabella Starling. This one is an extremely taboo novel, okay? This one is within the Blackheart romance, like, series. They're barely even interconnected standalones because they're written by different authors. Like, Sam Mariano has a book in this series, and Adelaide Forrest has a book in this series. But this one is, this girl works at a nightclub, and she ends up, she's not one of the girls who like works, like she works behind the bar, but there's this hitman who works for the mafia, which again, this is another one where I don't remember which mafia it is, so when you read it, you'd have to find out. But he really wants her to be the one servicing him that night, and so she does, and now he thinks she's like a girl that he can see. And then she sees something she shouldn't see, and now she is his captive, and he has an extreme kink, okay, that has to do with somnophilia, so I just want to put that out there. Some of it is unwilling somnophilia, so even more taboo than it as in general. And then this one is also Outsider to the Mafia. This is a quickie, though. If you're looking for one that's short and you don't mind things being kinky and dark, you could go for this. This one has a very manipulative, like, power-hungry hero. So think Sam Mariano level. Like, let's just call it that because it's in there. Condemned to Love by Siobhan Davis. This is the first in a series by her that's a mafia one. And this one, it's interesting because it starts as it's like an outsider to the mafia, because our heroine, she doesn't know that her family is involved in the mafia. So technically, to me, this one counts as outsider to the mafia, because when she gets clued in to some aspects of her family that are connected with the mafia, she is horrified that she missed it. But this one is this young woman, she has a crush on her sister's boyfriend when she's young. And when she is a child still, like she's 13, he is 21, he disappears. You know, he was her sister's boyfriend, and she had a crush on him, and then he disappears. And 7 years later, when she's turning 21, she runs into him in Vegas in a very sketchy situation that is very dangerous. And he saves her from this, and they have a one-night stand. And then this is a secret baby situation. So when she goes to tell him about the baby, she discovers he's a part of the mob, and she runs away. So I really loved this book, though, because it falls into my category of when I'm okay with a secret baby. And I really loved how strong our heroine was and how determined she was to protect her child from this life, not realizing that her whole family's kind of a part of this life, but she was kept out of it. So this one, Outsider to the Mafia, and this one is Italian Mob. Then there is Reckless Air by Jenica Snow. This is another like bonkers one. Jenica Snow does not pull back. If you like kinks, if you like spicy sex scenes, like this one is in it. This one is an arranged marriage between the Bratva and the Cosa Nostra, so it works for both of those. This is an arranged marriage. I think I just said it. It's arranged marriage between the Cosa Nostra and the Bratva. So there you go. There's 3 right there. This one is our very young heroine getting married off to the Bratva, and she has a very abusive family, and it has situations where the hero is like, no, you're mine to fuck with, and no one else is gonna hurt you, okay? And even in like the blurb, it says like there's a situation on her wedding day where she ends up like bathed in blood, so be prepared. Then there is Ruthless King. This is by Faith Summers. This one is actually number 6 in a series, but I read it out of order because I signed up to read an arc of this book because I just thought the cover was so hot. I love a silver fox. And this one has a pretty big age gap. The hero's in his 50s and the heroine is in her 20s, and she is becoming a nanny for his niece. And it is made very clear that whoever is the nanny for his niece is also going to be his mistress. And our heroine, she's being forced into this situation because I believe her family owes another mafia some money, and so she is forced into this to spy on him. This one is actually a cartel romance. I don't have too many of those, but this one is, our hero is a high up member of the cartel in this one, and this one also has royalty in the title, so that one works for that. And this one is very sexy because it's a little bit like dubious consent, but also like it's dubious consent because she's forced to work for this guy, but like he doesn't know that. So he expects that this woman who's signing up for it knows that she's going to be his mistress and his nanny, but like she's being forced to do that. So it's this weird thing, but she likes being with him because he's a silver fox daddy and it's delicious. Love this one. Love this one. Then there is City of Thieves by Cora Kedmorn and Catherine Wilcher. And I believe this one it's a politician's daughter who she had this bodyguard. I think I'm saying this right. Nope, that's a different book. Sorry. I think this one is she ends up needing to work with him. He like forces her to work with him on something. And this one's Outsider to the Mafia. And this is another one where I don't know which mafia it is. So you'll find out when you read it. Rise of a King by Bella Matthews. So this one is kind of mafia light. Our heroine is on the run from the mafia. She's actually a little bit in like WITSEC, but like her own version of WITSEC. And her and the hero are actually friends. And she's been very hesitant to have it be more between them because she knows she has a hidden identity and there's a lot of secrets that she's hiding, and she doesn't want him to know about it. And he is actually supposed to be the next mafia leader. So yeah. So this one has royalty in the title as well. And again, I think this one is Italian, but when I go back through the blurbs, they don't always just say which mafia it is. They'll just say it's mafia. So there you go. Then there is Kingdom Come by Alitha Romick. I always say her name wrong. I always do. This one is very interesting as well. So this one has royalty in the title because it's Kingdom. Get it? Kingdom Come. And this one was part of the Underworld Kings as well. Quite a few of the books that I've said were a part of the Underworld Kings, which was pretty cool. And This one is, our heroine is part of a wealthy family and she gets kidnapped, and so she gets abused, and some video of her gets put out, and she's going to be auctioned on the black market. And our hero does kind of, he's a hacker and a like fixer in some aspects, and he will do different projects for different mafias. He's not specifically affiliated with one, and he gets asked to help find this girl. And he kind of like falls for her while he's looking for her, and then once she gets rescued, there is more to the layers of what's going on than we even knew. So this one has royalty in the title, and again, I don't know which mafia it is. I'm sorry I keep saying that, but this one I highly enjoyed. It was one of my favorite books that I read in the Kings of Underworld series, or the Underworld Kings. And it's interesting because Alita Ramig, I've tried a few of her books and I don't always jive with them, but this one just really worked for me. It really did. I enjoyed it. Okay, just a couple left. We have The Brabus Heir. This is by Jane Henry and Sophie Lark. This one is a prison break romance. This one is the Bratva, obviously. Our heroine is also an outsider to the mafia. She is a psychiatrist, and so she's supposed to be evaluating our hero, and he ends up kind of fucking with her and using her for his escape, and then he takes her captive with him. So there's quite a few things. This one also has a little bit of daddy kink sprinkled in there, which was really nice. So this one has outsider to the mafia, Bratva, captive, and also tattooed hero. Also, I realized when I was making my list that I didn't say which other ones of these heroes have tattoos, but if any of the pictures that I've showed up have a tattooed hero on them, obviously we'll work for that one too. So yeah, I really enjoyed this. It was very spicy and fun. And then the last ones that I wanted to mention were The Dawn and the Lady by Serena Ackroyd. These ones are Sicilian. Our hero is Sicilian. That means it's Cosa Nostra. This one is just, it's crazy. Like, it's crazy. Our hero wants the heroine so bad. And they actually, like, they meet each other in a previous, like, book by Serena Ackroyd, but in this book, she recaps how they met and everything. And our heroine's name is Jenn. And I believe she's actually from the Irish. So this one should work for Irish Mafia too. That's right. Because she's the bastard daughter of somebody. That comes out as you read the series. But I'll tell you so you can use it as a prompt if you need to. But Jenn doesn't like to let men get close. She's kind of a serial dater. She is a high-class call girl almost. Like, she doesn't officially work with an agency, but she's with men for what they can give her, and then she moves on from them type of situation. And our hero, he decides that he wants her, and he's going to woo her and fuck her into being his woman. So there you go. I really like this duet, and someone might win a beautiful copy of this. I have book-plated ones from Serena in here, so they're really pretty there. It's hard for her to sign her books and send them to us because she lives in the UK, so we get book plates for them, which is fine because they're special and beautiful. So, bad boys you want to take home with you. All right, so there you go. I'm going to stop because my cold is making itself known even more. But those are the recommendations that I have that I've read in the past few months. If I haven't mentioned it already, I have an entire list of Mafia recommendations if you check out my dark romance playlist. So if there are prompts that you're missing, you can check out the other people's videos or check out some of my other videos to find out. But I'm so excited for this. We've had so much interest in it. I just think it helps support Mafia authors so much and gets people excited. There are so many of you who told me you tried Mafia for the first time last year because of that readathon. That makes my heart so happy, because if you love dark romance, if you love obsessive heroes, if you love that feel of a historical, like the, you know, innocent women and really like culture men, and you like there to be no rules, and you like the heroes to be very possessive and like touch her and you die, like Mafia is meant for you. It's meant for you. Give it a try. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure you're subscribed, all the fun stuff. I have links down below for things to check out, and I'll see you next time.